Okay, I think today's Monday. I think I'm rhyming, baby. Okay, now this is not the best view. Obviously there's a trash can here, but this is a really nice part of San Fran, and it's kind of one of my little private beaches. This is, I think this is Robin Williams' old neighborhood. You can see the bridge back there. I'm gonna talk about that bridge. I'm gonna talk about, this is gonna be kind of a Bible lesson. See, there's me. I don't know if you can see me. All right, little Jennifer Knapp. Man, that's such a good song. But just listen to that, man. She's a great line. Listen, watch it. We're gonna talk about trusting God. Just simply trusting God. Boom. And we're gonna learn those two words. All right, I love this song. You know, trusting God. I'm gonna tell you a bridge story. Listen to this. All right, let's go right here. Psalm 62. I love this. In fact, yeah, here it is. Psalm 62. I just love this. Okay. For God alone my soul waits in silence. From Him alone comes my salvation. He is my rock and my salvation. And then we're going to talk about leaning. It says trust in, lean on, rely, and have confidence in Him at all times. Pour out your heart. Believe in Him. God is a refuge. Look at that. Lean in, okay. Boom, boom, boom. Holla. All right, guys. Okay, I'm gonna break this video down. You know, it's one thing to talk about God. It's another thing about talking about trusting God. And you know, a lot of times I think people confuse it too. I know I do, and I know I have. That there's trusting God, and then there's believing in God, and then there's talking about Him. And sometimes, you know, obviously, you know, what people say and what they believe are different, you know. And so let me just kind of go here. I'm going to talk about literally how to trust God. And really I'll just be talking about from my own story, my own path, and you know, how do we go from here, trusting God, to truly trusting Him, leaning on Him, and relying on Him, and having confidence in Him. And the reason why I'm talking about that is because, you know, when you are really honest with yourself, and lately I've had to be really honest with myself, of how much do I truly lean on Him and rely on Him and trust Him. And is my life full of miracles, little miracles, or is my life full of anxieties and you know, those are some real questions. I don't know if it's turning 40. I don't know what it is. I've got some ideas, but you know, I want to talk a little bit about the space between talking about God and truly trusting Him. And let me kind of tell you a quick bridge story. And well, let's talk about fear. You know, there's a couple things that I'm afraid of, and one of the things I'm afraid of heights. And so for some reason, heights have always just really got me. And you know, even hiking in Colorado, some of my friends would just, you know, they would laugh at, like, really, like that scares you. But literally, like, to just go to the edge of a cliff, you know, could take me, you know, a lot longer. So I'm just afraid of heights. And so, you know, how do we go from truly trusting God, a conversation about truly trusting God, a conversation about truly leaning on Him, and fear? And those are all related. And so, for example, I love that bridge. And so one of the things I like to do is I like to take these little walking meditations. And my walking meditations usually involve, you know, like hiking in nature. That's one reason why I love Colorado so much. But now that I moved to the Bay Area, or California, I take urban hikes. And so one of the things I like to do is I like to just walk the bridge. And so having a fear of heights and walking the bridge, you know, really, that will get me. And sometimes I'll have to literally stop on the bridge and just kind of almost do like just stand there or maybe kind of focus on my breath, because the fear or whatever can really, it could be that strong. And then, I'm a Jesusite, so I try to let the Bible influence my life as much as possible, even though I have an ego and I don't want it to. But there, part of being a Jesusite is saying, okay, well, let me try to let God influence me. And so, when I talk about trusting God, maybe we don't know what that is, but let's talk about leaning. One of the ways that I'm overcoming my fear of heights, and because I love the bridge, is literally leaning on the bridge when I have kind of a little mini panic attack, and sometimes just leaning on the bridge. And sometimes I'll say the Lord's Prayer. Some things I'll just do some yoga that I've learned in Durango. There's some kind of breathing techniques where, kind of just these but leaning on the bridge. Now, what's weird is the first time I leaned on the Golden Gate Bridge, I was afraid that it wasn't going to hold me. Intellectually, I knew that it was going to hold me. But if you watched me, I am not fully leaning on the bridge. I'm 60% leaning on the bridge, or 80%, but there's always that holdback. And if you think about that intellectually, that bridge has been designed by experts. It's been tested. There's no mistaking that bridge can support me. I'm 6'1", like $180, but intellectually, I was concerned whether that bridge was going to truly hold me. And so let me show you something from the book from Ephesians and Philippians, and this is kind of the difference between trusting God and truly trusting God, because that's what this video is about. If I could find it, and this really brought me a lot of peace. Just bear with me. I guess I'll turn some music on. When I found this scripture, it really, really, really brought me peace. Maybe it's in the book of Philippians, I'm always... Here we go. Give me a second. No, it's Ephesians. Here we go. Sorry for that. All right, Ephesians 3. Ephesians 3, it says that you may really come to know through practical, and I love this, and this brought me a lot of healing and conviction. It says that you may really come to know practically through experience for yourselves the love of Christ, which far surpasses mere knowledge without experience, that you may be filled to the fullness of God. And I loved how it says, now focus on this, because really, what am I talking about in this video? I'm trying to bring a little bit of light, and maybe if I don't, bring any light, that maybe you could just know what my intention is. My intention is really to really help and not just help yourself, but also to help myself, learning how to trust God, not with mere knowledge, but with actual experience, with actual 100% leaning on the bridge. And what would that life look like? And that percentage, that between intellectual and experience, that's the space that God is always working on. And that's the space that I want to kind of work on in this video, is learning how to truly, truly trust God. Learning how to lean on Him. Not 60%, not 50%, not with mere knowledge, not with mere words, but emotionally, 100% soul. Because this is something that I'm learning. Our souls are going to depend on something. I think they're just designed that way. Our souls are literally designed to depend and trust and have confidence in something. And that's something we get to choose, whether it's conscious or not. That's something we're going to choose. And what I'm learning at 40 is, man, there's a big space between truly leaning on the bridge 100% in my life and that space. And that's what I want to talk about in these videos. And I hope you'll take the journey with me. All right, you guys have a great day. I'm going to go walk that bridge. Wanted to share some thoughts with you. Hope this helps. Email me if you have any questions, americana417@gmail.com. Try to share some good music. May try to share, maybe a trial, maybe a victory. Want to make these videos as real as possible. Authentic. I think that's what we need. I think we need an authentic voice. And I know growing up, what I did not have is I really didn't have an authentic voice. I didn't have a voice that was telling me the things I'm trying to tell you. And I may say them imperfectly, and I will, and I'll fumble through my Bible, and some people might not even like that I like the Bible, and so maybe my handwriting's hard to read. But ultimately, this is what I'm about. I'm trying to have an honest conversation about trusting God, not with mere knowledge, but with 100% life. And what would that really look like? All right, you guys have a great day. Americana417@gmail.com.